Day. My mom warned my sister not to end up poor like me until I stopped paying for everything. 5. The birthday party. The public execution Brianna's 30th birthday. 20 relatives gathered. Brianna announces she's buying a new car. Mom beams. That's my girl, always thriving. Then Mom turns to Kelsey and delivers the line that will change everything. Brianna, remember this. Don't ever end up poor like your sister. The room laughs. Aunt Susan laughs loudest. Kelsey feels 20 pairs of eyes on her. She smiles and says, "It's okay," but something fundamental breaks. Not her heart, her tolerance. 6. The memory that returns driving home, hands shaking on the steering wheel. Kelsey remembers something. Last year, during audit season, her most stressful work period, Mom appeared at her office. "Emergency," Mom said. "The insurance company needs your signature by 5 p.m. or we lose coverage." Kelsey was drowning in spreadsheets. She barely looked at the papers. "Did you read everything?" she asked. "Of course," Mom said. "It's the same as every year," Kelsey signed. Now, in the silence of her car, that memory feels different. Wrong. She needs to know what she signed. Cliffhanger. That night, I didn't plan revenge. I just decided to stop being invisible. But first, I needed to answer one question. What exactly did I sign last year? And why was my mother so insistent that I sign it immediately, without reading it? Part 2. Rising action. The drop that overflowed the glass. Objective. Show escalating injustice. Reveal twist Hasson. Mom knew the truth all along, and deepen the conspiracy setup. Build logical and emotional justification for Kelsey's withdrawal. Timeline context. The days following the birthday party family continues as normal, while Kelsey quietly investigates. Key points to develop. 1. Business as usual for them 3 days post-party. No apology, no acknowledgement. Mom calls with her usual requests. The roof needs repair. Can Kelsey call someone? Oh, and Brianna needs help with a car down payment. The requests come automatically, entitlement wrapped in family obligation. Kelsey realizes, to them, she isn't a person. She's a resource, an ATM with a heartbeat. 2. The social media wound Brianna posts birthday photos. Caption: 30 and thriving. Thanks, Mom, for always believing in me. Some people work their whole lives and never figure it out. The comments roll in. Cousin Jake, not like your sister lol Aunt Susan. You've always been the smart one. Mom, Kelsey screenshots everything. Evidence. She doesn't know yet what she'll do with it, but she saves it. 3. Twist Hasson. Mom always knew Kelsey gathers financial documents to understand her position. In an old email folder, she finds a bank notification from 5 years ago, a confirmation letter sent to Mom's address. It clearly states, "This confirms Kelsey Morgan is co-signer and primary payer on mortgage account number." Mom has known for at least 5 years exactly who pays for everything. The public humiliation wasn't ignorance, it was choice. 4. The lawyer meeting First Revelations Kelsey consults Marcus Webb, a real estate attorney. He confirms her situation. Co-signer on loan, no ownership on deed. She's legally responsible for a $100K plus debt on a property she has no claim to. He asks 2 questions that stop her cold. Do you know if your mother has a will? Do you know what's in it? She doesn't. Then he asks about documents she's signed. She mentions the insurance paperwork. His expression darkens. Thumbnail text. On my sister's 30th birthday, my mom pointed at me and warned my sister, "Don't end up poor like her." Everyone laughed. I just replied, "It's okay." Then I removed my name from every payment, including the $100,000 mortgage I'd been covering for years. By midnight, the family group chat exploded. 47 missed calls. 200 plus messages. Get me a copy of that document. 5. The document request Kelsey calls Mom, keeping her voice casual. "Hey Mom, I need a copy of that paperwork I signed last year. For my records." Mom's response is smooth, too smooth. "Oh honey, I'm not sure where I put that." "You know how my filing system is. I'll look for it this weekend." The weekend passes. Kelsey asks again. "Still looking, sweetie. It's somewhere in the garage boxes. She never produces it." 6. The silent preparation Kelsey doesn't push. Pushing would alert Mom that something is wrong. Instead, she acts. She contacts the insurance company directly. They have no record of any document requiring her signature. Whatever she signed, it wasn't insurance. She removes herself from the mortgage autopay. She prepares an email containing 12 years of bank statements. She schedules it to send automatically on the 1st of the month, the day the mortgage is due. And she asks her lawyer to investigate the deed, search for any filed documents with her signature, and find out if Mom has a registered will. Cliffhanger. The 1st of the month arrived. My email was sent, but I wasn't just waiting for them to notice the missing payment. I was waiting for my lawyer to call back with answers. Because whatever I signed, whatever my mother had been planning, I was about to find out. Part 3. Climax. The night everything exploded. Objective. Primary climax. Maximum dramatic impact. Family panic, confrontation, and twist #2 Brianna reveals she knew about the inheritance plan all along. Timeline context. The evening of the 1st of the month, the scheduled email is sent, the mortgage payment is missing, and the family discovers their safety net is gone. Key points to develop. 1. The group chat erupts 6:47 p.m. Mom. Kelsey, call me now, 6:50. 2 p.m. Brianna. What the hell did you do? 7:08 p.m. Mom. This isn't funny. The bank called. There's no payment. 7:15 p.m. Aunt Susan. Linda, what's happening? 7:31 p.m. Mom. Kelsey, I swear to God if you don't answer 7:45 p.m. Brianna. Mom is having a panic attack. Are you happy now? Kelsey reads every message. She doesn't respond to any of them. 2. The email opens 8 p.m. Read receipt. Mom has opened the email. It contains 12 years of bank statements showing every payment Kelsey made. A summary. $250, $9,200 total. And one sentence. I kept my promise to Dad. Now I'm keeping my promise to myself. 3. The confrontation call Mom calls for the 47th time. Kelsey finally answers. Mom is crying, furious, desperate. What is this? What are you trying to prove? You want us homeless? After everything I've done for you? Kelsey's voice is steady, almost clinical. Everything you've done for me? You mean letting me pay $259,000 for a house I don't own? You mean telling everyone I'm poor while cashing checks I wrote? You knew, Mom. The bank sent you a letter 5 years ago. You've always known. 4. Mom's attempted defense silence. Then Mom tries to pivot. That letter, I didn't really understand what it meant. Bank paperwork is confusing. And you offered to help. You wanted to help, Kelsey. I wanted to help the family. I didn't want to be erased from it. Tell me about the document I signed last year, Mom. The one you said was insurance. Par exposition. The daughter no one saw. Objective. Establish Kelsey as the silent sacrificer who has been systematically dismissed by her family. Plant seeds for the surface conflict and the hidden conspiracy. Show the public humiliation that becomes the breaking point. Timeline context. Opens in present moment, phone exploding with notifications, then flashes back to the birthday party and the years leading up to it. Key points to develop. 5. Twist #2. Brianna's full confession, Mom stammers, deflects. Then Brianna grabs the phone, panicked, trying to de-escalate. Kelsey, just help us get through this month, okay? It doesn't matter anyway, the house is coming to me when Mom dies, she promised. It's already in the will, so just help now, and we'll figure out the rest later. Dead silence. Kelsey, say that again. Brianna, not realizing what she's revealed. The will. Mom made a will 3 years ago. The house goes to me. She said you'd be fine because you're always fine. You don't need it like I do. Kelsey, and the document I signed? Did you know about that too? Another silence. Then quietly, Mom said it was just making things official, so you couldn't change your mind later. 6. The complete picture. Kelsey now understands everything. Mom created a will leaving everything to Brianna. Then she tricked Kelsey into signing away any potential claim. The public humiliation wasn't cruelty for its own sake. It was strategy. Keep Kelsey feeling lesser than, so she never asks questions, never demands what she's owed, never realizes she's been systematically robbed. 7. Kelsey's response. Kelsey doesn't scream, doesn't cry. Her voice is ice. You both knew. Mom planned it. You knew about it. And neither of you told me while I paid for 12 years. She pauses. I want you to understand something. This isn't revenge. This is just me. Stopping. I'm done being the person who gives everything to people who plan to give me nothing. She hangs up, turns off her phone, sits in silence with Oliver purring in her lap. For the first time in 12 years, she doesn't feel angry. She feels free. Cliffhanger. The next morning, my lawyer called. He'd found everything: the will, the deed records, and the document I'd signed without reading the one my mother told me was insurance. What I learned next was worse than I could have imagined. Because my mother hadn't just hidden the truth, she'd built a trap, and I'd walked right into it. Part 4. Falling action. The complete betrayal. Objective. Reveal twist #3. The full scope of the conspiracy, the will, the waiver document, the complete plan. Show real consequences. Deliver twist #4. Mom's backstory that explains but doesn't excuse her actions. Achieve justice that satisfies the audience. Timeline context. The following days and weeks, full truth emerges. Consequences unfold. Understanding deepens. Key points to develop. 1. Twist #3. The document revealed Kelsey meets her lawyer. He lays out what he found. The will, created 3 years ago. Everything goes to Brianna. Kelsey isn't mentioned, not even a token gesture. The document Kelsey signed. It wasn't insurance. It was titled Gift Acknowledgement and Waiver of Claims. By signing, Kelsey declared that all her mortgage payments were voluntary gifts and that she waived any right to claim ownership, equity, or reimbursement. Ever. The lawyer explains, "Your mother planned this carefully. She got you on the loan so she could keep the house. She kept you off the deed so you'd have no ownership. She had you sign away any legal claim you might make. And she created a will ensuring Brianna gets everything. You were supposed to pay for the house, protect it, maintain it, and then walk away with nothing when she dies." Kelsey sits in silence. Then, "Is this legal? Morally, it's theft. Legally, it's complicated. You signed voluntarily. You weren't under duress." He pauses. "But there are options. The document was obtained through misrepresentation. She told you it was insurance paperwork. That's fraud. We could challenge the waiver in court, and we could pursue an unjust enrichment claim for the $259,000. 2. Financial consequences hit home. Meanwhile, reality arrives at Mom's house. The mortgage is overdue. The bank sends warning letters. Mom has to sell the Toyota she bought 2 years ago, the car she bought with money Kelsey had gifted for Brianna's expenses. Brianna cancels her planned vacation. They call relatives asking for help. No one has $1,800 to spare. For the first time, they feel the weight Kelsey carried alone for 12 years. 1. Opening hook, the aftermath. Kelsey sits in her modest apartment, her cat Oliver on her lap, as her phone buzzes relentlessly. 47 missed calls. The family group chat has over 200 messages. For 12 years, she answered every call, solved every problem, paid every bill. Tonight, for the first time, she watches the phone ring and does nothing. She begins to tell us how she arrived at this moment and what she discovered that shattered everything she believed about her family. 3. Social consequences. The truth spreads. Aunt Susan calls Kelsey, voice shaking. "I saw the email you sent your mother. She forwarded it to me, trying to get me on her side. Kelsey, I had no idea. I laughed at that party because I believed what Linda told us, that you had money problems, that you were struggling. I didn't know you were the one paying for everything. I didn't know I was laughing at the person keeping that house standing." Within weeks, the truth spreads through the extended family. Relatives who mocked Kelsey at the party now call to apologize. Some stop speaking to Linda and Brianna entirely. The narrative reverses completely. The poor daughter becomes the hero. The proud mother becomes the fraud. Linda's reputation is destroyed. When she tries to tell her version of events, no one believes her anymore. 4. Twist #4. The origin of Linda's betrayal. Aunt Susan meets Kelsey privately. Not to defend Linda, to explain her. "When we were young, your mother was the one who sacrificed. She was the eldest. She worked 2 jobs to put your uncles and me through school. She gave up her college scholarship. She was the strong one, just like you." Susan pauses. "When our mother died, our brothers took everything. The house, the savings, all of it. They said Linda didn't need it because she was already working. She was left with nothing after giving everything." Kelsey listens. "I think that broke something in her. She swore Brianna would never go through that. She convinced herself that Brianna was fragile and needed protection, and she convinced herself that you," Susan's voice catches, "that you were like her. Strong, capable, that you didn't need anything because you could always take care of yourself. She doesn't see what she did to you as betrayal. In her mind, she was just protecting her weaker daughter." 5. Understanding without forgiving. Kelsey processes this for days. Her mother was once a victim, someone who gave everything and was left with nothing. just like Kelsey. But Kelsey sees the difference. Millions of people are hurt and don't turn around to hurt their own children. Mom had 40 years to heal. She had me willing to love her, willing to help, willing to be family. She could have told me the truth. She could have treated me as an equal. She could have broken the cycle. Instead, she recreated it. She made me into what she was, and then she planned to do to me exactly what was done to her. That wasn't trauma. That was a choice. 6. Kelsey's decision. The lawyer asks what she wants to do. She could sue, challenge the waiver, pursue the $259,000. Kelsey considers it. Then, I'm not going to spend years in court fighting my mother for money. That's not what I need. She pauses. But I'm not going to let her face no consequences either. She settles on a middle path. Her lawyer sends a formal legal letter demanding the waiver be voided due to fraudulent misrepresentation. If Linda refuses, Kelsey will file suit and make everything public not just to family, but to the courts. 3 weeks later, Linda signs. The waiver is voided. Kelsey's rights are restored. She doesn't demand money, but she makes Linda sign a new document acknowledging that Kelsey paid $259,000 and has the right to pursue reimbursement at any time in the future. A sword hanging over Linda's head, forever. 2. The Invisible Daughter. Growing up, Brianna was the star, beautiful, outgoing, the one everyone noticed. Kelsey was Brianna's older sister. Her academic achievements were met with "that's nice." Her self-sufficiency was interpreted as not needing attention. Mom's constant refrain: Brianna needs more support. Kelsey can handle herself. Over time, Kelsey learned to shrink, to expect nothing, to find pride in being the reliable one. 7. The new reality: Mom and Brianna must restructure their finances. Brianna co-signs the mortgage for the first time. She's legally responsible for the house. There's no more Kelsey will handle it. They take on second jobs. They sell things. They struggle. 2 months later, Brianna texts Kelsey, I got a part-time job at a coffee shop. I know that doesn't fix anything, but I wanted you to know I'm trying to understand what you went through. Paying bills when no one thanks you. Carrying something alone. It's hard. I don't know how you did it for 12 years. Kelsey doesn't respond immediately, but she doesn't delete the message either. Cliffhanger. 6 months later, I stood outside a small house with a key in my hand. For the first time in my life, I owned something that was mine, only mine. And the first person I called wasn't Mom. It wasn't Brianna. It was the one person who'd seen me clearly all along. Part 5. Resolution. A house of my own. Objective. Close with earned growth, self-respect, and meaningful resolution. Hope without cheap forgiveness. Show that breaking cycles is possible. Timeline context. 18 months after Kelsey stopped paying, life has settled into a healthier new normal. Key points to develop. 1. The first home Kelsey closes on a townhouse. Small 2 bedrooms, a tiny backyard where Oliver can watch birds, $315,000. Her name only, on the deed and the mortgage. For the first time in her life, she owns something. Not co-signed, not shared, not paying for someone else's name on the paperwork, hers. She walks through the empty rooms, running her hand along the walls. 12 years of payments for someone else's house, and now this. She sits on the floor of the living room and cries. Not from sadness, from relief. 2. Chosen family. That evening, Gina arrives with champagne. They sit on the floor, backs against the wall, drinking from plastic cups because the glasses are still packed. Finally, Gina says. Finally, finally, finally. Kelsey laughs. You've been saying that for 12 years. Because I've been right for 12 years. Gina raises her cup. To houses that belong to the people who pay for them. To names on deeds. To friends who tell you the truth even when you don't want to hear it. Kelsey clinks her cup. To chosen family. 3. Brianna's long road 18 months later. The journey hasn't been linear. Brianna struggled at first, resentful, defensive, looking for shortcuts. But something shifted around month 8. She got promoted at work. Not because anyone pulled strings, but because she actually performed. Now, 18 months later, she texts Kelsey. I asked Mom to change the will. She did it last week. 50/50 now. I know that doesn't fix what happened. But I wanted you to know it's official. A pause. Then, I told my therapist about everything. She says I have a lot of work to do, understanding how I benefited from a system that hurt you. It's uncomfortable, but I'm trying. Kelsey reads the message 3 times. She doesn't respond for a week, but when she does, she writes, Thank you for telling me. I'm glad you're doing the work. That matters. It's not forgiveness, but it's a door no longer slammed shut. 4. Mom's partial reckoning Linda has apologized. Multiple times, but the apologies always curve toward justification. I was trying to protect your sister. I didn't mean to hurt you. I thought you were strong enough to handle it. 3. The promise in the trap 12 years ago, Dad was dying. Heart disease. He held Kelsey's hand and made her promise. You're the strongest. Don't let them lose the house. 2 months after his death, Mom came to Kelsey with a problem. The bank wouldn't refinance the mortgage in her name alone. Her credit wasn't good enough. She needed a co-signer. Kelsey, still grieving, still bound by her promise to Dad, agreed. Her name went on the loan, but somehow it never went on the deed. She's never said, I was wrong. I planned to take from you. I deceived you deliberately. Kelsey has accepted that her mother may never fully own what she did. The self-deception runs too deep. Linda needs to believe she was protecting Brianna, not exploiting Kelsey. That belief is the wall she's built around her guilt. Kelsey can't tear that wall down. She can only choose not to live inside it anymore. 5. Dinner with boundaries 18 months. Later, Kelsey invites Mom to dinner at the new house, but with rules. Mom drives herself. Mom brings a dish. No discussion of money, the house, the past, or Brianna's needs. Just dinner. Just two people trying to find what remains between them. Mom arrives, looks around at the townhouse, the small garden, the cat tree by the window. For a long moment, she says nothing. Then, it's beautiful, Kelsey. You did good. No, how did you afford this? No comparisons to Brianna. Just acknowledgement. They eat. It's awkward. There are silences, but there's no cruelty, no hidden agendas. Before leaving, Mom says, I know you think I don't understand what I did. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'll never see it the way you do. But I'm seeing a therapist now. First time in my life. She's making me look at things I've spent 60 years avoiding. She pauses at the door. I'm not asking you to forgive me. I'm just asking you to know that I'm trying. Kelsey nods. That's a start, Mom. We'll take it slow. 6. The cycle breaks late that night, after Mom has left. Kelsey sits on her back porch with Oliver in her lap. She thinks about cycles. Her grandmother took everything from Linda. Linda tried to take everything from her. The pattern was supposed to continue. But it won't. Because Kelsey chose differently. Not revenge, just boundaries. Not hatred, just clarity. She stopped being invisible. She stopped being the silent giver who asks for nothing. She stopped perpetuating a cycle that had already claimed one generation. 7. Final message. My father called me the strongest one in the family. For a long time, I thought that meant I should carry everything alone. I was wrong. Strength isn't carrying what others should share. Strength is knowing when to put it down. My mother was hurt 40 years ago. She had a choice. Break the cycle or repeat it. She chose to repeat it with me. I'm choosing something different. I haven't forgiven her completely. Maybe I never will. But I've stopped needing her to see the truth before I can move on. My freedom doesn't depend on her confession. And I've forgiven myself for trusting too much, for hoping too long, for waiting 12 years to see my own worth. Sometimes, to be seen, you don't have to speak louder. You just have to stop making yourself invisible. Closing echo. Today, when people ask about my family, I tell them the truth. I have a mother who's learning to look in the mirror, a sister who's learning to stand, and a house with my name on it both on the loan and the deed. We're not perfect, we're not even close. But we're honest now. And from honesty, something new can grow. Whether it does or not, that's up to them. Either way, I'll be fine. I've always been fine. The difference is now I know I deserve to be. Mom said we'll add you later, it's just paperwork. Later never came. 4. 12 years of invisible burden. Since then, Kelsey has paid $1,800 monthly mortgage, insurance, repairs. Her name on the loan means the debt appears on her credit report, affecting her debt-to-income ratio. She could technically buy her own place, but it would be harder, more expensive. So she rents. She tells herself it's temporary. It's been 12 years. 3 years ago, she ended a 2-year relationship because Marcus couldn't understand why she wouldn't stop sacrificing for people who didn't appreciate her. She chose family. Family didn't choose her back.